Hello. Okay, let me see if I can get this set up so I can try to read multiple chats all at once. It's easier said than done. Oh, hey, people cheering in Twitch. Thank you very much. How is everyone doing this evening? YouTube going, hey, you can tell people they're moderators. Like, well, okay, I can, but do I want to? It's nice. The last few times we've actually had multiple people trying to chat on the different platforms, which is super duper cool. So, while I'm setting this up, those of you who don't know who I am your friendly local neighborhood chief librarian. Yeah, I'm not a real librarian. I just LARP as one. That's my standard answer nowadays. But we are Alexandria RPG. I know it's kind of weird. I'm not looking at the camera, so I'm not looking at you as I tell you all this. We're Alexandria RPG. We are a non-profit role-playing game library, and we travel to events throughout North America, sharing the history of role-playing games with everyone that is willing to stop by and hear all the insanity that we spew at everyone. Okay, it's mostly just my insanity. Everyone else that works for everyone else that volunteers for the library has a little insanity going. I believe, because who else would go, hey, let's help out these people that are putting on this library and going places. I love all our volunteers. We have some amazing people. We have some great GMs that come out for us. We have some awesome game designers that just come out and chat with us. They'll show up to events. In fact, at PAX West, so this weekend. Oh, PAX West is this weekend. Oh, I have so much to do. PAX West is one of our largest events, and we see it coming, but no matter how prepped you are, it sneaks up on you at the same time. You're like, I'm ready to go. I'm not. So like at PAX West, we have one of the designers from AAW Games. They're a local game company that is going to be running some 5e games using their upcoming book about like small, easy to run dungeons. So we're super excited about that. Smoke finally left Portland. That's good. Yeah, it's still smoky around here. Still tired from Dragonflight. Yeah, I'm still tired from Dragonflight as well. Okay, I'm going to get into some book donations and show everybody what we have that's come in. So, the folks over at Evil Genius Games, not only are they supporting the library with books, they're going to be supporting the library by helping us with GMs that run their games. So we'll be able to give a little stipend to GMs that run games to help cover parking and food and whatever. So from now until the end of the year, any games that are run at events using Everyday Heroes. So they gave us Everyday Heroes, and actually 2 copies of this. It is a 5e based game. It's made by a bunch of the same people that made D20 Modern. And D20 Modern, at its heart, was made to be a spy game. It was made to, like, hey, we have all this guns and armor and stuff, and if you need to use it, it's there. That was what it was at its heart, but that's not what all the stuff that ended up being made for it. All the stuff that was made for Everyday Heroes, there was very little spy-based stuff, and it was lots of trying to do action shoot 'em up stuff, and it didn't do it well. So with Everyday Heroes, they've taken 5e and there's some of the optional 5e rules, and they said, okay, that is a mandatory rule in this, or they've tweaked and altered a bunch of little things within this, and it's actually pretty cool. All the issues I had with D20 Modern, because people have heard me talk about D20 Modern, because it was so clunky, because a modern system always... Oh, well, those that are not watching on Twitch, we have a 30-second ad break on the Twitches. Maybe it was an ad for Everyday Heroes. That would be cool. Ends in 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Done. Okay, we're back. So those that were watching ads over on Twitch, what did you get? So, there was a bunch of things released under D20 Modern that just didn't quite work. It was the wrong settings, the wrong stuff used in it. Well, with Everyday Heroes, they've tweaked it. I do want to go over this a little more in depth, because after reading through it, because I was very skeptical when I saw the Kickstarter. I was like, I don't know what they're going to do. But I think they've done some pretty smart things. So they gave us 2 copies of the core book, and they'll both be out at this they'll be at PAX West this weekend. 2 copies of Escape from New York. I love this movie. John Carpenter, one of my favorite directors, and one of my favorite musicians. Kong, Skull Island. No, that wasn't Peter Jackson. Peter Jackson did the King Kong reboot. This movie was cool, other than King Kong like changed size throughout the movie, like went big, then small, then big. Let's see. I'm intrigued to look through this one. Highlander. So 2 copies of Highlander. One of my favorites. Total Recall. Love the short story it's based on, and I actually like both versions of the movie. Like, the Arnie one is amazing. Great movie. Paul Verhoeven knocked it out of the park. The newer one, I love the setting. The world that they built out. The characters were just bland. So, it still can give you a lot of inspiration. Yes, Skull Island is in the same universe as the 2014 Godzilla. So maybe Evil Genius might end up with the Godzilla. I don't know. That would be awesome. I'd play Godzilla all the time. The Crow. I even like some of the sequels. And they all had good soundtracks. Every one of these movies had a great soundtrack. But Crow's a really cool universe. Both the comic book and the movie, because they were very, very different. And I'm actually learning this one right now, Pacific Rim. So if you've been to our website, you'll see there's a little tribute to my buddy Alan. Alan was my best friend. Sadly, left this earth way too soon. And he absolutely loved Pacific Rim. So I'm going to do some... games in the Pacific Rim universe at events in his honor, because I definitely could have gotten Alan to play Pacific Rim. He would have been like, okay, have you learned this game yet? Are we playing now? Are we now? Have you learned this yet? So, and our second copy. It does look thick, but it's not nearly as thick as it looks. It is. If you know 5e, you'll learn this really quick. It literally is like, hey, here's how 5e does it. We do it this way. Or this rule is a optional rule in 5e. It's mandatory in here. Hey, this rule is now an optional rule. So I think it does a really good job. I need to see it in play. I mean, I've played enough games and I've run enough games that I can usually see how they go in my head. See, original Pacific Rim film was Del Toro having fun. Not sure what they were thinking with the sequel, other than more money. Yeah, the sequel was fun, but it definitely wasn't as fun as I mean, just at no point did anybody in the original one go, okay, we're making a serious movie. It was okay. We're making Robot Jocks meets Godzilla-esque thing. Let's mix it together and do something stupid with it. Because it's so dumb to have to have two people doing something in unison to make this robot work. It's like, why is that? And it makes no sense in any way, shape, or form, but it weirdly works for the movie and for the story. So, I I did not like the movie when I saw it in the theaters. I was like, meh, meh, meh. And then Alan made me sit down and watch it as just sitting down and watching a movie. So all of a sudden I'm like, oh, hey, this movie is, stop looking at it as a cinematic piece of, like, why is this movie not, Citizen Kane? And well, I'll be honest, not a huge fan of Citizen Kane. Hey there, T-Man and Bros. Oh, hang on. Yeah, I don't know what's going on.